Quaker Grits is $20 million a year off black folks. Quaker Grits. Can I have your grit money for 1 year? Give me your grit money for 1 year. Give me your grits. Give me your Quaker grits. No more grits for 1 year. Can we sacrifice our grits for 1 year? Can we sacrifice the grits? If you give me the grits, 19 million on Quaker grits. $19 million on Quaker grits, black folk, if you give me your Quaker grits. Give me your grit money. Give me your grits. We spend $19 million a year on grits, and we spending $19 million on
what? Kiss my grand!
You're in that hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
A lot of y'all might be too young to know about Mel's Diner and old Alice. Kiss my grits. That's all I could think about when I kept hearing him talking about grits. But yeah, old Pinky popping it on the Art of Dialogue, man. I know his name Clifton Powell, but he Pinky to us, to the culture. He nailed that role so cold. It's like, before I think of Clifton Powell, I think of Pinky. But with no further ado, let's see what he say, they. And when I say they, I mean Hollyweird and the KKK have been up to.
And speaking of that, right, I want to backtrack to your comments about skin tone. I heard that she was up for a big role in a big TV movie, but you didn't get the role because of your skin tone? The Rudy Bridges story?
Well, basically what happened was the producers told the director, whose name was Usan Palsy, that I was so dark that it looked like I would scare everyone. So they wouldn't hire me.
Well, I thought they was going to say like, well, he doesn't match the actual character. He was lighter skinned. But to say that, that's crazy.
And that's what happened on that. I haven't spoken on it, but I'm going to put it in my book. And basically that's what happened. So her, who's African and French, and a white producer whose name I can't remember, said, Mr. Powell, you are our first choice. If you don't get this role, it's not because we didn't fight for you. But that's happened to me on a McDonald's commercial. One of my friends was the producer and the agency, and the agency thought I was just too dark. You got to understand, I tell people, like I told my panel last night, there was an article years ago, I'm not sure if it was in Esquire magazine, that talked about Black Hollywood, white Hollywood. And there's an article in there by Wesley Snipes, white agent from CAA, that sent Wesley in for a role. And this is documented. And they called him and said, don't send anybody darker than Denzel. Racism permeates, and it's not the same anymore, because we've seen, really dark-skinned actresses and dark-skinned actors. But you got to understand, if Obama was my complexion, he wouldn't have been president. You know what I'm saying? I still get followed around stores. I mean, I ride first class. I was in first class one time, and this guy kicked my seat. And I stood up and I said, would you have kicked my seat if I was a white boy? Because there's all kinds of different people in the world that like, what is this doing flying first class with us up here? I'm like, I make more money than all of y'all in first class. So you got to understand, still people like that in the world. It's people like that in this business. I did a TV series, which I am not going to say, but some of the Teamsters were Klan members. This is real. It's real. I don't take any shit from anybody that's racist, sexist, or anything, period.
Now, just stick to what you have, but they always try to add these other issues in with the issue. What do sexists got to do with the racist? Man, it's separate, bro. Pick your battles.
And I can tell you a billion stories, and I'm never going to take it. Period. I encountered some racism on New York Undercover. And the sound man, he was trying to put the mic in my hair. I had a scarf. I was playing this little thug guy. And I had a head wrap like Tupac used to wear. And I told the sound guy, I said, sir, I don't want to run the wire up in my hair because I'm going to be rolling on the ground. Maybe I was being a little overprotective, but I could choke. Freak accidents happen in this business all the time. There was a girl, let me tell you this story. on Vampire in Brooklyn. Black stunt lady jumping.
Him thinking he gonna choke kind of bougie. Before you choke, you would be able to prevent choking. Yeah, you was probably feeling yourself. You was probably kind of Hollywood too.
Off a building. Her first jump was successful. Her family was there. The second jump, somebody adjusted the mat. Go look this story up. She jumped, hit the mat, and bounced into the wall and died instantly. Yeah. So as I was talking to the sound man, now on a lot of the African-American shows back in the day, all the writers, producers were white. You may have one or two black folks there. I don't deal with racism very well because I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I grew up with good white folks and a million black people.
Now, I know he didn't just say good white folks. He don't see sometimes. Racism is not always as obvious as you may think it would be. He said good white folks. That's crazy.
So it's one of my triggers. So I told the sound guy, I said, I don't want to put the wire in my hair. So he turned to me and looked me in my eye. He said, I tell you what then, why don't you do your sound in post? You know what that means?
No, I don't. No, sir.
It means you just don't do it live. You do it in the edit.
What that means is, why don't you do the show while you're here this week, and then you let them fly you back in and then put your sound in. I said, no problem. So I called the first AD and I said, I think your sound man is a racist. He said, well, what happened, Mr. Powell? I said, well, I was telling him I wanted to put the mic either on my leg or behind my back and put the wire up in my shirt somewhere. And he told me to do mine in post. So he said, don't worry, I'll talk to him, Mr. Powell. So I assumed that he talked to him. I got back after lunch. I had to go.
Before he get too far, I wonder how he just jumped to racist. Maybe dude thought you was being bougie. Damn.
The sound, same sound guy. I said, sir, like I said before, I don't want to put the wire in my hair. And then he said, what did I tell you? He might have said, boy. He said, boy, what did I tell you before?
Don't say he might. You trying to make it more racist than it was. He might have said boy. Then right after you say he might have said boy, you repeat boy into his statement. I ain't buying it.
And I stepped back and I said, let me tell you something, bro. I will knock the fuck out of you on this set. And any one of you white boys got a problem with me.
Oh yeah, you just proving they prejudice and they stereotype by getting out of character like that for absolutely nothing. Now you want to get violent for this little subtle, whatever you want to call it, that you detected. That's ignorant. That's crazy.
I'll fight every one of you motherfuckers. Period. And I went to my trailer.
That wasn't going to make him like you no more or want to put the microphone anywhere else than he wanted to put it in the first place.
And I called my manager and I said, I'm leaving. She said, what's the problem? And I said, what the problem? She said, well, Cliff, you're in New York. I said, I don't give a where I am. So the producer called me. He said, what is the problem? I said, this is the problem. Your sound man is a racist. He told me that.
This dude is tripping. There is absolutely nothing that has happened yet in this story that indicates racism at all.
To do my sound in post. I said, so this is what I'm prepared to do. I'm prepared to give you back your hotel money, your flight money, and I'm flying out as soon as I get out of my trailer. He says, Mr. Powell, give me a minute and we'll get you right, because I had the wrong trailer. They put me in a honey wagon. SAG regulates this. So I'm supposed to get everything I'm supposed to get as per SAG.
Yeah, he just caught up in status, bro. And because his status wasn't quite honored correctly, they didn't have him on deck right, it's racism.
The next day I had a brand new trailer and nobody in the crew talked to me. I did my week and I left. Dr. King said, a man can't ride your back unless it's bent. Period. And that's how I approach this business. I try to be amiable. I try to be cool, but I'm also a young man that has worked his ass off to get everything I have. I try to be pleasant. I don't believe in any of the isms. but you're not going to punk me. It's never going to happen. I will die first. And that's just how I feel. And if people are listening, please try to understand. It's a lot of sexism in this business. It's still a lot of racism, much better than it was. And I'm not going to bash Hollywood because Hollywood is a microcosm of what's going on in the world right now. I'm just not that guy. And I'm never going to be that guy. And so I've lost work because of it. I've been fired because of it. I've walked off of sets because of it. And that's just the way it's going to be. And that's how I operate. And I'm not bragging. I'm not boasting. I just try to come to work and do my job. Period. I had a McDonald's commercial. There's two black. Simon.
I don't believe him. I believe there probably was a family setting with some kids already chosen, and he didn't fit the actual color scheme. McDonald's put Tyrese on there, black as they have tons of extremely melanated people in their campaigns. This dude is projecting racism when it's not there at times, I believe.
The guy wanted me to be a coon. It's the same. Being a coon and being blocked is the same thing to me. You know, when they fire you, because it's not like I sat down and tried to talk to this guy about Harlem. He never heard of Harlem, really. I said, do you know you want me to make fun of Harlem, which historically is one of the most exclusive African-American enclaves in the world, where black entertainers couldn't go downtown, so they had to stay in Harlem. Central Avenue in Los Angeles, you have the black hotels. The black entertainers couldn't go to the white places, so they had to stay in Central Avenue.
That shit gone. Central is the low bottom down there now. It's nothing. You can clown it, make fun of it. Ain't nobody gonna give a That culture has not been preserved. Oh, my mama. I don't know if it's the same over there in Harlem, but it ain't like that on Central out here or Broadway. Broadway is gone too.
And then they came in and tore Central Avenue apart. You know, I'm not going to make fun of Harlem. Harlem may not look like the Harlem of yesteryear, but Harlem has a lot of historical references.
But that's what you hold on to, the memories, the moments, not the actual space that is no longer what it once was.
And history. And then I did the Langston Hughes poem. I said, have you dug the spill of Sugar Hill? Cast your gems on the sepia thrill. Brown sugar lassie, caramel treat, honey gold, baby. That's Langston Hughes talking about Harlem. And you want me as a woke black man to come on your show and make fun of Harlem? I'm not doing that. And I walked off.
I would have to hear the context of the joke. Because, I mean, how was they trying to make fun of it? Was it lighthearted? Was it extremely demeaning and disrespectful? I'm very curious.
You know, so, you know, I'm sure I've lost other jobs because they thought I might have been too strong or too masculine. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time.
I salute you for maintaining that masculinity, melanated brother, on my mama. I know that's difficult to do in Hollywood.
Time analyzing. I just know what I'm going to do. And I don't want to come across like I'm a gangster or a thug. I'm just a real man who stands up for his rights. That's what I am. And I'm always going to be that way.
Yesterday was bullshit, but today gonna be a good day. Louisiana 3P, yeah, the 3P. I'm talking about the hood way, like when the Lakers got the 3P, I have to say it was a good day. Hey now, say now, I woke up feeling like it was my birthday. Checks coming in like the first day. I said checks coming in like the first day. Niggas trying to knock me off my pivot, I get ignorant, live it. Give it to you in the worst way, I give it how I live it. Let the church say amen. I was trying to chase a little 2K. I was trying to chase a little 2 bands, water and pineapple juice. Hold the deuce, I'm zeroed in. Shoot the beak off a bird. Toucan Sam, do you know who I am? It's Noonie. Blame that business, you goofy. See this big gold ring, if I mink me. You get loopy, crashing shit, I think I'm boosty. Debo, but this ain't no movie. This ain't 2B, this ain't no movie. Yesterday was bullshit, but today gonna be a good day. Louisiana 3Ps, yeah, the 3Ps. I'm talking about the hood way. Like when the Lakers got the 3P, got the 3P. Have to say it was a good day. Hey now, say now, I woke up feeling like it was my birthday. Checks coming in like the first day. I said checks coming in like the first day. Really though, I read the back of my cereal box. I still keep a dog in my sock. But he mad, you lucky I'm not. I'm about to blow, I'm about to pop. Shout out to the low, he passed me the rock. Hopped off the post, threw it in sport, oh wait. Pocket stuff like a loose leaf. Pick and roll, we ain't talking about sushi. It's no need and the green is for blue cheese. It's no need and the green is for blue cheese. I'm about to blow, I'm about to pop. Shout out to the low, he passed me the rock. I'm about to blow, I'm about to pop. Shout out to the low, he passed me the rock.
I worked hard. I get up at 4 o'clock and get my breakfast done. Just at dawn of day, I go to the field and we pick cotton. My boss man came along, he says, Ray Jane? I said, sir. Says, I say, when you wash? I said, I washed last night. He said, I don't want you to do that no more. That's my agent, you know. He says, every Friday morning or Friday evening, you wash. And let all the children stay there with you until you get through. When you get through, then y'all can go back to the field and wait. Now, the agents was mean, some of them. Some of them was mean. They want to hook the colored people. And that time the white man come along. He says, hey, but you ain't in the field yet? He just had started plowing. He said, yes, I've just not had to eat my dinner. God damn it, you ain't doing a goddamn thing. Says, God damn it, I ought to take this damn stick and frail the hell out you. He said, no, he said, if you frail the hell out of me, goddamn, I frail the hell out of you.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
Snakewood and that Puzzle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.